Classrooms today don't only not prepare you for life, they handicap you. Classrooms are actually designed sort of many years ago, but there's a deeper level of what's wrong with the classroom. Education, as we all know, is meant to prepare you for the real world. And unfortunately, the way we design the classrooms that are the very classrooms that are meant to be sort of the environment that helps you there are completely opposite from the real world. So for example, in a classroom, the outcome is predetermined. You don't get there and then decide what you want to do in the classroom. It's predetermined by the whole education system. Secondly, the biggest problem I think with classrooms is that failure is stigmatized in the classroom. And we know that failure is part of the learning process. But in classrooms, failure is bad. Children who fail the test are often looked down on. The other thing is value is very external. You don't go to a classroom because you want to go to a classroom, and you also don't determine what you want to get out of that class. And then lastly, the roles within a classroom are very fixed. There's a teacher, and their job is to teach. You're a student, your job is to learn, and you've got peers. There's so much wrong with this because this is really not how life is. A much better example of an environment that really reflects life is a playground. Just take a moment to think about the environment that's created in a playground. So firstly, the outcomes in a playground are self-determined and they're always evolving. When a child goes to a playground, they don't predetermine exactly what they're going to do. They kind of decide and create their outcomes as they go. Secondly, failure is part of the process in a playground. Children, they expect that they're going to fail the number of times. And so when you go to a playground, you get there, and as you go, you determine what you want to get out of that environment. And then lastly, roles are completely fluid and they change almost on a minute basis as you play with each other, as you determine, as you create the games. The playground environment is so much more reflective of life. In life, the outcomes are evolving. All of us know that when you get to a particular environment, outcomes change and you're constantly evolving those outcomes. Failure is really relevant. Failure is part of the process. Value has to be internal. If you're looking for outcomes in real life and you don't have the value, you haven't determined the value internally, you're not going to be successful. And then lastly, roles are fluid. In any one job, there are multiple roles that you play. This is why our children, after spending years in the education system, are not prepared for the work environment, even though the whole goal of the education system in the first place is to do the exact opposite.